Hey, what's going on, everybody? Abe Diaz here, the Data Strangler. Just going to be going over my first actual video covering something with Power BI and Power Query. Today, I'm going to be discussing no more helper queries. Now, what does that mean? Helper queries are used in Power Query and they are intermediate steps when transforming your data. However, there's some things that's got to be known about. For example, um, they add more queries to your queries pane. They can, have issues with performance. They can get complex. There's a lot of dependency issues, and they take up a lot of memory. So I'll be discussing about that, and then the alternative, which is using one of my favorite things, is called a BaseDir parameter. So before we get into showing how to get data in here, just want to quickly mention that helper queries aren't all bad. They're great for simplifying your logic when performance isn't a real big concern for the size of the data set, and you just need to make something really quick. But now I'm going to show you how to get the data from a folder. So you're going to go to Get Data, More, hit Browse, from Folder, select Connect. Then you're going to go to Browse, go to where that data is living, and then you're going to click OK, and then OK again. So before everything goes to Power Query, you're going to get a couple options here. Combine and transform data is like allowing you to do a very quick merge on all the files in that folder, and then it also creates a sample file to define in how the rest of the data, the rest of the files in that folder in the future are going to be transformed. If you just hit transform step right here, you're just going to skip all the combining steps and you'll be able to have more control of your files. You can do transformations one by one. If you just hit load, you're just going to load the data set right in. And combine and load is a mix of combining the data and just loading it right in. So you don't have to do any transformations in Power Query. Here we are in Power Query. I did a lot of these examples earlier, just getting all the data in here. But first, we're going to talk about, I think, the one of the most important parts of using the BaseDir, which is kind of like my favorite, is let's say we're on a team and someone is working on a Power BI dashboard and they send it to you. So when they get the dashboard, you're going to get something like this. So this file path is not found because it's not on my computer. This is from someone else, and it changes. It's wrong right here. But also the thing with helper queries is you have to change it here in the sample file as well. So that's two places where you have to change this data source. Now imagine if you have a lot of files, right? A lot of queries here in the queries pane, it could take a while. But before I show you how to change the data source using the parameter BaseDir, I'll show you how to create one. So just going to go here, going to view the parameter. So you just type in whatever name you want. I like BaseDir because that's what my mentor went with when he named his parameter. So I just kept the same thing. You switch to type. I always keep it at any value, and the current value is the file path where the folders are going to be. Super important as well that everyone shares the same data path when it comes to these folders. So just dragging it over right here. So my parameter is BaseDir, and these are going to be the two folders in there that has data. So how you create this, you just go to manage parameter. Oh, I'm sorry. You go to manage parameters, new parameters, type in your parameter name, any type for suggested value, any type for types, go to current value, Press paste, click OK, and your parameter will appear here. So before I show you how to switch out the file path to pick up the data source that doesn't recognize this data path here, I'm going to talk a little bit about using the helper queries. So when you import using helper queries, it's going to go to the source, to the file name, BJJ database. I always like to sort the rows descending. You're going to click through all these applied steps, and then it's going to ask you to expand the table. Now, going back to this sample file here, when we connected, this is the source, and we are expanding a table shown by items equals category name, kind, table. Now there's a key difference here. When you connect to a table, you do not have to promote headers. It's already done for you. But if you connect to a sheet, which is right here, and you click navigate to sheet, it shows data validation is a sheet, kind is sheet. You have to promote headers here, because when you select from a sheet and you promote headers, then it's going to do that for every new data set that you pull in from that folder. And here it's already done for you. You don't need to click it. Now, if you don't promote headers, you forget to do it from here, and you promote headers from here, the first row from the source.name column moves up into the column header, which is wrong. So just always remember, if you import from a table here, you don't have to promote headers. But if you're importing and you select the sheet option right here, you have to promote headers in this step, or else you're going to run into this issue right here. All right, so now the fun stuff can begin, is changing out this data source with a file path that we don't recognize, and using it with the BaseDir parameter. So first, I'm just going to get back to baseline, or I'm going to go here, delete until. That's going to delete all these helper query intermediate steps. And I'm going to go to the advanced editor. I already coded this earlier, so I'm just going to copy it and paste everything in here. So what I did was, so it's still going with folder.files, but it's picking up the BaseDir and that data folder, which is this one right here. I'm using the source as Excel workbook using sorted rows 0, which is basically telling Power Query to get the first item in a table or list. I'm specifying what data I want to expand. It's going to be, my item is the worksheet called data, and the kind is called sheet, and then there's a promote header step. Click done. And here is all the data right here. So run through the steps, folder.files, BaseDir, and that data folder. I'm going to sort the date modified field, so the last file that's dropped in the folder will always be the first one. And there's my sources, all my tables and sheets. I'm going to call my specific sheet that I want. Then I'm going to promote header. So essentially, I can now get rid of this helper query right here. Don't need it, it's gone. Now all of the data is pointing to my location with this BaseDir, and I can continue working. So now when I send this back to where I got it from, this individual, all they have to do is just change this BaseDir to their file path, ensuring that all of these folders are set up the same way. And once they change the file path, they'll be able to see all the data and no more errors. So now I'm going to go over how to bring a whole new folder in using the BaseDir. And you'll notice here, when I do this method, no helper queries will appear. So in my BaseDir example, this is where it's going to this folder here. And then I'm going to pick the subfolder within that folder, comp data. So I'm going to go here, just to show quick and easy. I'm going to copy this one. So Control C, Control V in the advanced editor. Then I'm going to go right click, new query, blank query. Oh, sorry, I can't talk today. Paste that in. So now this BaseDir is picking up until it says 00.basedir example. And I want this, instead of the data subfolder, I'm going to pick the comp data folder. Comp data. I know my item is going to be the points and subs tab, and my kind is going to be sheet. Click done, and there we go. Rename my query, comp data. So here we have it. Just one query, not 4 additional ones with helper query. Doesn't need a sample file, and can be easily sent back to its original owner, and they'll be able to work with their data, not having to change out multiple data sources. So this is my use of the BaseDir parameter. Please let me know what you think in the comments. If you like it, there's another way, or if I could do this any better. Um, Appreciate the time, everyone. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. And that's it for how to use BaseDir parameters and get away from helper queries forever.